come out with mental block, and we can now meet virtually, and we can organize event in hybrid mode in future.
Absolutely.
Yes,
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's good.
True.
That's good. That's good. But of course, we are missing the fun and advantages of in-person meeting. And
It's
now
true.
it's more than 1 year. So many of us are fed up also. We want
Yeah.
we want to meet occasionally at least. Let us see that. But I'm sure we are going to have a better tomorrow, a brighter tomorrow.
Sure, sure.
That is true. That is true. That is true.
This is a temporary phase.
Sir, now it is 7:02 and
You can start, yeah.
yeah,
Please do start.
our team.
Parvati?
Yes, ma'am. Hello, am I audible?
Yes, very
Yes,
much.
yes, Parvati, you are.
Okay, thank you. Honorable speakers, distinguished guests, students, and professionals, a very good evening to you. It's a great honor to be here amongst you. A very warm welcome to everyone to the inauguration ceremony of IEEE Kerala Section. IEEE Education Society is a community of professionals dedicated to ensuring high-quality education in science and engineering. And the IEEE Education Society Kerala chapter will be the newest chapter of IEEE Kerala Section. We are privileged and delighted to have many prominent personalities share this platform with us here today for the inauguration. Without much further ado, let us start the ceremony with the IEEE Code of Ethics. I welcome Dr. K. Keshavasamy, Advisor, IEEE Education Society Kerala chapter, to present the IEEE Code of Ethics.
Thank you. Good evening, good afternoon, and good morning to our dear guests from all over the globe. We will take a pledge. That is a one-line advice for us from IEEE. Please, we will start. Yes. We, the members of IEEE, are we going to repeat? No. Okay, I will continue. We, the members of the IEEE, in recognition of the importance of our technologies in affecting the quality of life throughout the world, and in accepting a personal obligation to our profession, its members and the communities we serve, do hereby commit ourselves to the highest ethical and professional conduct and agree to hold paramount the safety, health, and welfare of the public, to strive to comply with ethical design and sustainable development practices, to protect the privacy of others and to disclose promptly factors that might endanger the public or the environment, to improve the understanding by individuals and society of the capabilities and societal implications of conventional and emerging technologies, including intelligence systems, to avoid real and perceived conflicts of interest whenever possible, and to disclose them to affected parties when they do exist, to avoid unlawful conduct in professional activities, and to reject bribery in all its forms, to seek, accept, and offer honest criticism of technical work, to acknowledge and correct errors, to be honest and realistic in stating claims and estimates based on available data, and to credit properly the contribution of others, to maintain and improve our technical competence, and to undertake technological tasks for others only if qualified by training or experience, or after full disclosures of pertinent limitations, to treat all persons fairly and with respect, and to not engage in discrimination based on characteristics such as race, religion, gender, disability, age, national origin, sexual orientations, gender identity, or gender expression. To not engage in harassment of any kind, including sexual harassments or bullying behavior. To avoid injuring others, their property, reputation, or employment by false or malicious actions, rumors, or any other verbal or physical abuses. To support colleagues and co-workers in following this code of ethics, to strive to ensure the code is upheld, and to not retaliate against individuals reporting a violation. Let us have a great day. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now I would like to invite Mr. C.M. Burgess, Chairperson, IEEE Education Society Kerala Chapter, for the welcome address.
Good evening to one and all, and welcome to this evening ceremony, the inauguration of IEEE Education Society chapter under Kerala Section. With the inauguration of IEEE Education Society chapter, we have reached the first milestone of going to be a very vibrant and enthusiastic society chapter under Kerala Section. IEEE Education Society is a worldwide society of professionals dedicated to ensure high-quality education in science and engineering, and promotes, advances, and disseminates state-of-the-art scientific information and resources related to the society's field of activities. It provides professional development opportunities for academic and industry professionals. IEEE Kerala, being one of the topmost performing sections of IEEE worldwide, we need more and more direct benefits of IEEE, reaching the common public through advanced education, R&D, and innovation and its benefits. Linking both academy and industry in a harmonious way, benefiting both shall bring in multiple benefits of solving unemployment problems, R&D, and innovations become fast and economical in addition to how latest and state-of-the-art technology. IEEE Education Society have plans and strategies to support and fill the gap between industry need and academy outcomes. And we will strive to deliver same through awareness, training, skilling, and will take the plans and scheme with the consent through our section. Now, let me take up my duty of welcoming the guest of the day. Detailed introduction of the guest will be followed. Today, we have Dr. Edmund Tower, IEEE Education Society President, virtually here to inaugurate this society chapter. We are so honored with your presence, sir, and very hearty welcome. On behalf of members and executive committee of IEEE Education Society Chapter, Kerala. We are privileged to have Mr. Deepak Mathur, Director, IEEE Art and Asia Pacific, to deliver the keynote address and IEEE Education Society website inauguration. A very hearty welcome, sir. The meeting is presided over by our Kerala Section Chair, Mrs. Sarada Jayakishnan, and we welcome you, Madam, to this ceremony.
Thank you, sir.
Our event today is made very enthusiastic and connected towards academy and industry with the presence of most prominent personalities from both areas. Dr. Rajasri MS, Vice Chancellor APJ Abdul Kalam University, has kindly consented to deliver a talk on academy linking with industry, and we are honored with you, your presence, Madam, and very hearty welcome to this evening ceremony.
Thank you.
Our inauguration ceremony is made more productive in its true mission with the presence of Mr. V.K. Matthews, founder and executive chairman of IBS Software, the thought leader of global aviation industry. A very hearty welcome, sir, to IEEE Kerala Education Society Chapter inauguration ceremony. Today's ceremony has a very special event honoring the senior member of IEEE Kerala, Dr. K.P. Pillai, and welcome you, sir, to this event. We have Professor Rosa Maria Vasconcelos, Vice President, MGA, IEEE Education Society, and EDSOC Board Member to grace this occasion with your presence and felicitation. A hearty welcome, ma'am. The function is being felicitated by IEEE's prominent leaders, Dr. Suresh Nair, Chair, IEEE India Council, and a warm welcome, sir. We have Dr. Samir SM, Secretary to IEEE Art and Asia Pacific, who is facilitating this function. A warm welcome, sir.
Thank you, sir.
We have academicians, professionals from various walks of life today with us, and hearty welcome, sirs and madam, to all of you. Our IEEE Kerala Section Executive Committee members, senior members, and student members who all are here and very supportive and active to turn this function a momentous one. A very hearty welcome, sirs and madam, to all of you. And welcome our founding chair, Professor Muhammad Qasim, our vice chair, Mrs. Lisha Poor, and Secretary Jithin Krishnan, and student team leader, Mr. Saritas, members, senior members, and student members of IEEE Education Society, Kerala.
Thank you, sir.
I conclude wishing you all a very nice evening with several good talks in education. Bye.
Thank you, sir. I now cordially invite founder chairperson of IEEE Education Society Kerala chapter, Professor Muhammad Qasim, to the chapter.
Thank you, Professor Gayatri. Respected Chief Guest, Dr. Edmundo Tovar, President, IEEE Education Society, other distinguished guests, Education Society members, IEEE members, and guests. A good evening to one and all. Kerala section was elevated to an independent section in 1983. The section is currently 10,199 members, having two subsections, namely Kochi subsection and Malabar subsection, 12 society chapters and one joint chapter, 80 plus active student branches, 250 plus student branch chapters, and 15 standing committees. Malabar subsection was formed in October 2010 and Kochi subsection in June 2011. And really, in the 20th century, we were having nearly 10 student branches, and the first student branch under Kerala section was the College of Engineering, Trivandrum, which started in 1983, that is 15/6/93. Then NIT Calicut follows, Cochin University of Science and Technology, TTM College of Engineering, NSS College of Engineering, Palakkad, Government Engineering College, Thrissur, MA College of Engineering, Kodamangalam, Model Engineering College, Ernakulam, and College of Engineering, Changanur. These were the student branches in the 20th century. Now, currently we have 80 plus student branches, and with 12 society chapters and one joint chapter, 4 affinity groups. Next slide, please. 4 affinity groups and 80 plus student branches. And the today's membership count is 10,199 with 49 associate members, 405 graduate student members, 1 life member and 23 life seniors, 891 members, 258 senior members, and 5 affiliates and student members 8,550, means 85% of the membership is from the student side. And the different society chapters are Antenna and Propagation Society, Circuits and System Society, Communication Society, Computer Society, Education Society chapter that is formed in April 20th, 2021. Then EMBS, Geoscience and Remote Sensing, Microwave Theory and Techniques, Power and Energy Society, Robotics and Automation, Signal Processing Society, Society on Social Implication of Technology, and the joint chapter that is the Industry Application industrial electronics, power electronics joint chapter. So these are the 13 chapters at present, and the figure in bracket shows the membership count. And we do have 4 affinity groups, that is the consultants network, life member, and women in engineering and the young professionals. Next slide. And these 3 society chapters are now in world ranking 1, 2, and 3. They are the Power and Energy Society chapter with 43 student branch chapters, and the chair is Engineer A. Suhair with 3,819 members. Then the second one is the IEEE PLS joint chapter with nearly 50 student branch chapters altogether, and Dr. Bijana is the chair with 3,022 members, and the Computer Society with 26 student branch chapters, and engineers S. Srinivasan, the former chair, is the current chair of Computer Society, and with 2,216 members. So these are the leading society chapters under Kerala now. And we are also planning to move to the highest level. And we bagged too many awards in the past years. There is a MJ Outstanding Large Section Award in 2020, then Art and Distinguished Large Section Award in 2019, then again 2015 MJ Outstanding Large Section Award, and again MJ Outstanding Section Membership Retention Performance Award, then Distinguished Large Section again in 2015. So too many awards for the Kerala section. And we have too many student branches bagging the exemplary student branch awards in 2020, 2019, 2018, and 2016, like that. So an excellent section with membership count and too many activities. So a vibrant chapter. And regarding the formation of Education Society chapter, and now I started with the aim of starting an Education Society chapter under Kerala section. I started recruiting new members in March. With a strength of 16 in February, it rose to 24 in March. A petition was initially filed by the current chair, Engineer Varghese. Due to policy issues, I have to submit another new petition in April and got approval for the chapter in 20th April. We are currently with 63 members on roll with 1 professional execom and 1 student execom to coordinate the activities of the chapter. We were also able to submit petitions to form 2 student branch chapters, one at NSS College of Engineering Palakkad and the second one at College of Engineering Karunagapalli, and these 2 SB chapters were waiting for the approval. And recently we conducted 2 technical programs in June and a number of administrative meetings starting from 1st May, electing the new office bearers. Our aim is to bring up the Education Society Kerala chapter to the top among other chapters across the globe. Now, we expect all support from IEEE Education Society, APJ Abdul Kalam Technological University, then industrial organizations, for the growth of the chapter and the activities of our chapter and the Kerala section. Kerala section, yeah, many role okay. And thanks to all volunteers of Education Society chapter, to all volunteers of Kerala section and IEEE, and thank you all once again, and thank you very much. Back to Gayatri. Thank you all.
Thank you very much, sir. We are pleased to have the presence of the chairperson of IEEE Kerala section with us here today. I invite Mrs. Sharada Jayakrishnan, chairperson, the presidential address. Over to you.
Thank you, Parvati. Distinguished guests from across the world, my IEEE colleagues of Kerala section and the newly formed Education Society chapter, students and other dignitaries, a very good day to all of you. Good afternoon, good evening from wherever you're joining. Thank you, Dr. Varghese, for inviting me to preside over the function. This is indeed the 13th society chapter of IEEE Kerala section, and it is really, I mean, it's indeed a pleasure that this has happened during the COVID time. I mean, I did hear I mean, earlier to the program, the speakers mentioning that this is one advantage that we are gaining by having the pandemic, that we could bring in speakers from across the world. As Professor Kasim was mentioning, the thought of having the the Education Society had started off since the beginning of this year. Professor Kasim had been, working rigorously with all the members to see that we could have this formation seen in this very year. And I congratulate him and the whole team here for having this ceremony today here. Kerala section, Professor Kasim did mention about how the formation and the other different societies and activities that we are having. We are currently within the first 3 across the globe. There are close to 350 plus sections across the globe, and we are standing among the 3. I think we are today on number 2. What has been distinct about our section has been the vibrancy of the members, especially the guidance from the life members, senior members, the young professionals, and the students working together. So it's a whole team, the whole member volunteers being very active through their own different passionate ways. It could be societies, there is humanitarian activities, the whole spectrum of IEEE available for them to participate and enrich. One of the other important point I thought is relevant is every day we have one program. If you look at the calendar of the Kerala section and the various societies and the student branches that are active, every day we have minimum one program that's happening. So it's like 365 days of the year, there are meaningful programs which the volunteers can participate, can be part of it, they can enrich themselves and also give back to the society. Today, especially when you look at the program schedule, it's so rich, including the honoring of Dr. KPP Pillai, the senior most life senior member of IEEE Kerala section. So thank you so much, sir, for honoring, for gracing this program today and coming here as per the invite. And I think Professor Kasim had been was instrumental in actually identifying and also bringing Dr. Pillai back to this scene today. There is also last year the EXICOM had decided that we will have initiatives wherein we can show that IEEE is here for the industry in our in Kerala, specifically the MSMEs, where we could handhold them with our technical know-how. So there were 2 initiatives, in fact, one on a strategic initiative on industry engagement and a strategic initiative on academia engagement, because we realized that there is a lot that could be done by IEEE, the whole ecosystem, for the students and also the academia as such. So this is a correct juncture where the Education Society has come up, which could act really as a bridge between these 2 initiatives and help our students and also academia and the industry together. So it's indeed very relevant that our Honorable Vice Chancellor has agreed to give an academia industry engaging distinguished talk, which will set the tone for what is it that the society can contribute towards. And of course, it's very heartening to see Dr. V.K. Matthews, an industry expert, especially from Kerala, somebody who had shown that a homegrown venture can go a long way across the world. Thank you, sir, for joining and also promising to deliver the industry expectation, because both sides are required to know. And of course, the felicitations from all across the world, including from Professor Rosa Maria and the team over here. Dr. Mr. Deepak Mathur had actually agreed to launch the website also. So indeed, it's a complete program where the society is being given a great start. And I did listen to Dr. Verghese mentioning that this is going to be a vibrant society. So no doubt about it, looking at the schedule and the way the things are rolling out. So all the very best to the new Exicom team and also the members and the whole society members, and all the very best. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for your time. Now has come, which we were eagerly awaiting, the inauguration of IEEE Education Society Kerala chapter. For the inauguration, we are honored to have with us the President of IEEE Education Society. I invite Mr. Aju Thomas to introduce our Chief Guest, Dr. Edmundo Tovar, and invite him for the inauguration of IEEE Education Society Kerala chapter.
Hello, everybody. Am I audible?
Okay.
So you're audible.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. My name is Aju Thomas, and I have been previously part of the International Committee of EDSOC when the president was Dr. Rob Riley. I was the YP representative. So it gives me great pleasure to introduce Dr. Edmundo Tovar to this event. Dr. Edmundo Tovar received the computer engineering degree and PhD degree in informatics from the Madrid Technical University, Universidad Politécnica de Madrid, UPM, from Spain in 1986 and 1994 respectively. He is currently with the UPM as a professor of information technology in enterprise. He has served as an elected member on the board of directors of the Open Courseware Consortium 2009 to 13. Executive Director of OCW Office of the UPM 2008 to 12, and Executive Director of the Open Education Office at UPM 2013 to 16. Professor Tovar is a Certified Software Development Professional, CSDP 2005, Professional Software Engineering Master Certification 2015 of the IEEE Computer Society, member of the IEEE Education Society Board of the Governors from 2005. He is currently President 2021-22. He leads an innovation group in technologies applied to open education, and he is editor of the Information Technology Information Systems Editorial Board of Merlot. He is a professional member of IEEE Eta Kappa Nu. Handing over to the MC for the next session to invite Dr. Edmundo Tovar. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your introduction. Can you hear me well? Yes. Okay.
Yes, can hear you.
Thank you very much. Director of IEEE Region 10, dear Chair of IEEE Kerala Section, dear Founder Chair of IEEE Education Society Kerala Chapter, dear IEEE Education Society Kerala Chapter, other authorities, guests, and participants in general in this event. I am very honored to participate in this event. The first thing is transmit our enthusiastic welcome as chapter in the Education Society. Is for us very important, your valuable contribution to the society in general. The first thing for me that I think that is the main purpose of this talk is trying to encourage you to participate and to integrate with, to know more about the organization that you are belonging. This is my purpose here is try to explain and to present all the areas and services, products, and how can you integrate and participate in all the initiatives that we are doing and offering in these moments, in particular to the chapters. So this is my welcome, in particular on behalf of all the whole society. you can check, and I invite you to explore the website of our society. This is a website that is updated, obviously, and try to collect, to gather all the information that I think is very important to know to be more engaged in our society. This is the website, the IEEE Next slide, please. Okay, the first thing, okay, yes, thank you very much. The first thing is that in this overview is to begin in the top level of the organization. You know which is the mission and the vision of our organization. It has been introduced in the previous speeches. This is Education Society is founded in 1957, but is not a large society comparing with other societies, and all society that is very valuable for IEEE in general. The objectives is the education of IEEE Education Society is to promote, advance, and disseminate the state-of-the-art scientific information and resources related to the society field of interest. The field of interest is the theory and practice of education and educational technology involved in the effective delivery of domain knowledge of all fields within the scope of interest of IEEE. Next, please. Next slide. Okay, thank you. I would like to highlight which are the efforts that we are doing in order to establish a good strategy plan. We have worked in the last 10 years trying to identify which are the challenges that we have in order to progress and grow as society. I would like to say that according to that, basically our strategic plan tried to lead to enhance member value. We assume in the last year a sole sponsorship of transactions on learning technologies, an emerging technologies journal that we jointly started with the Computer Society, but we are sponsoring alone. We deploy an IEEE Access section for rapid time to publication, and we deploy the Region 9 conference portfolio of events dedicated to regional issues in engineering education. We deployed a technology-specific conference on the emerging field of massive open online courses, MOOCs, and we formed and this is very important, a strong relationship with the IEEE Educational Activities Board, EAB, and conducted joint webinar events on current topics in engineering education. We try to be informed about all the feedback and the needs of our membership, working with the IEEE strategy research, trying to make different surveys in order to know which are the needs of the membership. Please, next slide. Okay, it's important to know, I think, that I would like to stop a little moment about which are the current strategic goals that we have established. That this is something that we will approve in the next month by the Board of Governors. So this is related to one of the actions that we will invite you. We are in the next day, we are going to publish a call for funding initiative projects by the chapters. So the first question that we will ask you is about how is your proposal is aligned with one or several of our strategic goals. For this is something that we have here in the presentation, but you can find in the new call that you will receive as a new chapter. Next, please. Okay, and a brief overview about our leadership structure. We have an executive committee, a board of governors, and several standing committees. chairing by, in that case, standards, constitution and bylaws, and finance. Next, please. Okay, these are, and we have additional society committees. For instance, the technical committee on learning sciences, on learning engineering, technical committee, strategy planning committee, and the fellows evaluation committee. Next, please. Okay, this is the organizational chart for this year, but this is something, I repeat, that you can find on at the website. I only to know that this is our structure in order to know, in order to explain you all our by how we are organized in order to invite you to contact with us. Okay, next, please. Okay, I am going to review briefly all the different areas that we have in which we are organized. The standards is one of the important area. This is something that is supported by our strategy plan with the development of educational technology standards. This committee, our committee, studies the need for new or revised standards relevant to our field of interest. And it creates, once it has been approved, it creates new working groups of activated existing working group to consider these needs. We have currently 2 society standards, and obviously we are collaborating with the IEEE Standards Committee. But specifically to our society, we have published in 2019 the standards for networked smart learning objects for online laboratories. And we are working, and we have another second working group formed in December 2019 that is working jointly with the IEEE Computer Society and the IEEE Industrial Electronics Society to develop this standard on secure and trusted learning system. Obviously, you are invited to propose or participating of any of these working groups. Please, next. Another important area that we have obviously is the conferences and technical meetings. I am very glad to listen that that your chapter is very active from the beginning. I have listened that you have organized meetings in this first period of time from May to now. But I would like to invite you to participate and even to lead different conferences and technical committees, because our chapter usually appear linked to events with technical conference sponsorship. But we have 5 flagship conferences. First one, I think that many of you will know, is the Frontiers Education that is sponsored with the society and ASEE, American Society of Engineering Education. We have in the region 8, the EduCon. In region 9, we have another flagship conference that is EduNine. And for you, in region 10, we are receiving, I think, proposals for this edition, the TAIL conference. And the new one about learning with MOOCs, that this is another conference that the next edition will take place in Guatemala in 2022. Okay, there are several issues that we are interested to improve, as for example, the impact and recognition of the society and the community that the event serves. The indexing indicators is another measurement that we take in order to know which is the state of health of our conferences. Okay, the next area is the publications. We are encouraging emerging areas with the deployment of our own
Yeah.
access section. So I say that this is a new from the last year, and you can find more information on the website, but this is one of our main principal activities. The current publications include the IEEE Access, in the IEEE Education Society sections from 2020, the IEEE Transactions on Education, formerly IRE Transactions on Education, established in 1958, the IEEE Transactions on Learning Technologies, and the IEEE Revista Iberoamericana de Tecnologías del Aprendizaje RUITA, IEEE RUITA. We are encouraging emerging areas with the deployment of our own IEEE Access section, enabling rapid publication of work in emerging areas of publication of work that falls outside the core scope of our other publication. Okay, next slide, please. Education area, another important area. We have another vice president of educational activities and awards with responsibility for educational product and services not related to the membership, publications, and conferences activities. We have a new distinguished lecturer program that has been adapted to the new situation to provide talks in an online environment. Obviously, I think that we have very good opportunities to collaborate and in this virtual environment, to give more impact and visibility to the events and conferences that you can organize or you can involve in the organization. So this is another kind of opportunity in order to collaborate with us. The educational awards and offerings are communicated and promoted through our chapters, conferences, electronic newsletter, online media, etc. We seek to address the professional development needs of a global community of educators in electrical and computer engineering and technology. We seek to provide resources. This is another one of our responsibilities, to offer resources that can be developed internally or through a partnership. For instance, the main initiative that we have is in collaboration with EAB. This is something that is called the IEEE Teaching Excellence Hub project that has been launched in the last, I think that it was in the last month, but it's very important and with a very good impact through the collaboration of EAB, Educational Activities Board, and the webinars that you can find available on demand content. We have this is another area that we can contact us and collaborate in another idea or to contribute to the projects and webinars, this Teaching Excellence Hub, or another ideas to collaborate with us. The next one, please. Yes, this is we have two technical committees. Okay, as the same way that in other areas, you can join to one of these technical committees on learning sciences or learning engineering, or even you can lead and propose the proposal of new technical committees that can be related to our mission. And finally, yes, it's finally about the membership. This is the next slide. Very important for us because we grow a society and trying to sustain the membership through traditional technical activities such as conferences, workshops, research symposia. We invite to all the chapters to different initiatives. For instance, in the last month, we organized a contest of open educational resources developed by students, but chapters can coach. Okay, and there will be another more initiatives. I mentioned at the beginning of my talk that is about to be to launch the call for funding projects for chapters. That the deadline would be the I think that is 31 of July, the last day of this month. It's a very brief template to develop your proposal. But okay, well, you have there in the slide that our society is composed primarily of mid-career male academics. However, we are one of our policies is try to contribute to the diversity and inclusion, as according to the general policies of IEEE. Even we have you can find in our website a declaration of a statement about diversity, about of women of engineering that we approved in our last Board of Governors meeting. Because according to the ethics code that you have read at the beginning of this event, we are fighting, we are applying all our efforts in order to have a more balanced gender ratio and automatic growth in regional, racial, ethnic, and gender diversity. Next slide, please. Yeah, okay, finally, to conclude, I would like to highlight some specific recommendations for, if you will let me, for your chapter, is try to connect with other stakeholders. I am very glad to check that you are very integrated or networked with IEEE Region 10, with other societies, but especially my mission here is invite you to connect with it because you are a very important component element of our structure. Another recommendation is that we will make all our best in order to help you to develop your leadership skills. Don't take any doubt, don't hesitate to propose us initiatives, because we are willing to help you and to support you to develop them, and obviously to support them, and even to give you contacts and to integrate it in other more global initiatives. And the channels of communication, obviously you can contact with us, with me, obviously with our Vice President of Membership, that is Rosa Vasconcelos, that is participating in this event. We have an operations manager that is Madison Musselman, that this is another key person in order to contact, because everybody are very well connected, always to help you to develop to listen to you and to develop all your initiatives. You can use our social media channels, Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn, to follow up all the initiatives that we are doing, but specifically we are in direct contact with the chair of the chapter in order to transmit all the information that could be interesting. Next slide, I think that is almost at the end. Okay, and finally, I would like to give you thanks for your invitation and congratulations for your initiative. And I encourage to integrate in our community, and we hope that continually benefit from the dialogue our society helps to foster in the world of engineering education. Together, we are a dedicated group of skills professionals working toward the goal of helping our student engineers and scientists build bright futures for themselves. This is our mission, and in this task, we are involved all together. Thank you very much, and congratulations. It has been a pleasure.
Now we have a symbolic video to mark the official inauguration of IEEE Education Society by Dr. Edmundo Tovar. Let's move on to the video now.
Sorry. Okay.
Thank you, Dr. Toa. That was a very wonderful talk about the myriad of activities that we are doing at IEEE Education Society, and we're really proud to be part of the IEEE Education Society. And we are very grateful that you are here with us today to share this momentous occasion. We would like to give you a small token of our appreciation at this moment too.
Thank you very much. It's a nice, it's a nice present.
Thank you again, sir.
To pay attention to this kind of stuff. Thanks. Thank you very much. Obviously, we are now collecting information to publish in the new newsletter of the society. So I invite you to send information about this event to be included in our newsletter for the next edition, that it should be in the next days. Thank you very much.
Sure, sir. Thank you so much. Next, I would like to invite Mr. N.P. Subish, Education Activities Chair, IEEE Education Society Kerala Chapter, to introduce and invite IEEE Art and Director, Mr. Deepak Mathur, for the website launch and the keynote address. Over to you, Mr. Subish.
Thank you, Gayatri. It is my great pleasure and privilege to introduce our guest of honor, Mr. Deepak Mathur. He is the present director of IEEE Region 10, the Asia Pacific region. He has served in many leadership roles in IEEE at section, council, region, and MGA levels. He was IEEE India Council Chair in the year 2015-16. He has received the prestigious IEEE Region 10 Outstanding Volunteer Award and the IEEE MGA Achievement Award. Mr. Deepak was the former Chief General Manager of ONGC, India's largest energy company. He has more than 35 years of professional experience in electronics, telecommunication, and IT infrastructure. He has held various engineering and managerial positions in all those fields. Mr. Deepak has a Bachelor of Engineering degree in Electronics and Communications from IIT Roorkee and an MBA. He has also completed the Advanced Management Program from IIM Calcutta. With these few words, I would like to invite Mr. Deepak Mathur to launch the website of the IEEE Education Society Kerala Chapter and to deliver the keynote address. Thank you. Welcome, sir.
So thank you, Subish. Would you like me to launch a website first?
Yes, sure.
Or I have to deliver my keynote first?
Yeah. Let it be the website launching first, then you can have.
Okay. So I'm going to share my screen. So are you able to see my screen?
Yes, yes.
Yes, yes.
So thank you very much. I'm really happy to launch this website. And as you know, website will serve excellent means of communication, and launch of a website just in 3 months after the formation of inception of this Education Society chapter of Kerala section. It's really a big achievement, and I would like to congratulate each one of you who are associated with design of the website. Thank you very much, and many congratulations to you all for this Education Society chapter, and as well as for this new website.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. So before we'd like a quick picture of all of us who are here today at this inauguration ceremony, because we have such esteemed guests. If it is okay, we can have a quick everybody. If everybody would turn cameras, it will be wonderful to take a snapshot.
Hope you got the picture.
No, sir, just take 1 minute. Everyone, please turn on your cameras. Still, people are turning on their cameras. We can wait for 1 or 2 seconds. And yeah, say IEEE. Yes, sir, we got the picture. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Endo. Sir, we would now love to hear a few words from you.
So distinguished guests and my fellow IEEE colleagues from Kerala section, I really feel privileged and honored to be with all of you, and I thank especially Mr. CM Varghese, who sent me the invitation and gave me the opportunity to share my thoughts with all of you. It is really a great moment for Kerala section, not only for Kerala section, it is also for India Council, it is also for Region 10, and also for Education Society, that we are adding a new chapter of Education Society in Kerala section. If you ask me, to me, formation of a chapter is an indication of growth and a step forward to add more values for our members, which would be adding through various programs of the society, as the president of society told just now. The Education Society chapter has more relevance today and becomes more important in view of changing landscape of education and education methodology, in view of new normal and new education policy. If you are a member of technical society, you get access to society publications, you get access to conferences, you get access to the various resources as an individual member. But by forming a chapter in this section, we create leadership opportunities for our volunteers. And there are numerous other benefits of having a chapter. If we form a chapter, we can serve our members locally as per their need through various society programs. We can organize programs, we can organize events, we can organize workshops suitable for the need of our members of our chapter in the section. And another important thing, which is very important in which I feel, that if you form a society chapter, then membership growth may be sustainable. You will get the members for a longer duration of our lifelong membership. And Kerala section, if I talk about Kerala section has always been a very well organized section and very well directed section. And I have personally lots of appreciation and respect for its volunteers and volunteer leaders. On many occasions, I had a opportunity to work with many volunteers and volunteer leaders of Kerala section very closely, and every time I was benefited from their knowledge, from their work ethics, and from their discipline. I wanted to mention this particularly. So it is, I was just counting that it is a 7th Education Society chapter in India and has shown threefold growth in just 3 months of formation. I'm sure the chapter will also achieve similar or even better growth in activities in near future. And I'm happy and I'm grateful to Dr. Edmundo Tovar, President of IEEE Education Society, and Professor Rosa Maria for her presence and inaugurating this chapter of Region 10. I have got a brief presentation for you, where I will be presenting an overview of Region 10. And I'll request to move to the next slide. So many congratulations, Kerala section, for this new addition to your section as a Education Society chapter. Next slide, please. So in my overview of Region 10, I will be just telling you some history of Region 10, then what about the countries of Region 10, then sections, conferences, and about the EXCOM members. We are having very diverse executive committee, and we would be also talking about Region 10 thrust areas and what are our priorities and some ongoing initiatives. Next slide, please. You can skip. Next slide, please. So what you see today as Region 10, it was formed in 1981. Otherwise, Region 10 was formed in 1967. At that time, Southern Africa was also part of Region 10, but in 1981, Southern Africa was transferred to Region 8, and Asia Pacific region became Region 10. Next slide. This is the map of Region 10. If you see in the north, we have got Mongolia subsection. In west, we have got Afghanistan subsection. East, we have got Japan Council, and south, Australia and New Zealand subsection, New Zealand section. So we are very diverse, very vast. We have very vast area as Region 10. Next slide, please. In Region 10, we have got 60 sections. We have recently, in the last month, we have elevated one subsection to a section. So with 60 sections, we are the highest in number in IEEE. We have got 6 councils, we have got 42 subsections, and we have got 63 chapters. Here, I would like to draw the attention of President Edmundo Tovar that we have got very effective and very dedicated team of section chapter committee in Region 10, and we are forming new chapters, and we are exploring possibilities of where we can form new chapters. If Education Society finds that there are sections in Region 10 where we have got more than 20 or 25 members in Education Society, then I'll request Professor Rosa Maria, who is the VP-MG of Education Society, and they can share those information with us, and we will reach out to section chairs for formation of new society chapter, Education Society chapter in Region 10. And we have got also good number of student branches. We have got good number of student branch chapters in Region 10. Next slide. We are largest, fast growing and diverse region. And we have got potential to grow. And many of our subsections are having potential to become section. And we are going to see in near future the elevation of subsection to section. Next slide. So this is our Region 10 EXCOM. We have got OPCOM, where we have got directors and secretary, treasurer, and 3 vice chairs. We have got our EXCOM, where we have got 17 committees, and we have got 1 student representative. So total 18 members we are having in our EXCOM of Region 10. Next slide. So this is a very diverse EXCOM. We have got members from most of the countries of Region 10. We have got gender diversity, we have got region diversity, and we have got culture diversity. So with diversity, we also bring diversity of culture, we bring diversity of thoughts, we bring diversity of ideas. Next slide. One thing, just I wanted to please go back. So in our Region 10 EXCOM, we are really privileged to have Professor Toshio Fugda as our advisory committee member, who is the immediate past president. And we are also having Professor Kukjin Chun, who is the immediate past VP MGA of IEEE. Next slide. We have taken this initiative in 2021. We have inducted committee members in Region 10 committees, and close to 150 members we have taken in our subcommittees. And this is basically, we wanted to give opportunities to those volunteers who have already exhibited their dedication, commitment at their section level or at their country level. And these are the volunteers for future. Rather, we can say that these are the future leader of IEEE and who are getting trained at Region 10 level. Next slide. We organize 2 meetings every year. One is the Region 10 for Region 10 EXCOM members, and another is for all section chairs. But because of ongoing pandemic, all these 2 meetings were done in virtual mode. Next slide. We have got 4 flagship events, 3 flagship conferences, 10Con, 10SIP, and Region 10 HTC. 10Con, 10SIP, and Region 10 HTC of 2020 was planned in person, but was organized in virtual mode. But 10Con, 10SIP, and R10 HTC of 2021, we would be doing at least in hybrid mode. In the next month, we are going to organize 10SIM, that is in Jeju, Korea. Previously, we were thinking that pandemic will over and we will be having this meeting in person. But because of the ongoing pandemic, we have converted this particular event into a hybrid event. And Region 10 SYWL Congress, we organize once in 2 years. Last time it was to be done in Thailand, but we did in virtual mode, and I'm happy to share with you that it was a grand success, and our YPs, students, WI, and live members all came out with very innovative and creative plans, and we did a wonderful congress. Next slide, please. Our operations committee, at the end of 2020, they brainstormed and had many sessions, and we came out with 3 thrust areas, mainly for membership activities, technical activities, and professional activities. And these thrust areas will be direction for all of us for 21 and 22. Next slide. We also have some priorities in Region 10, and the 2 priorities which I would like to talk to you right now is that we wanted to do a sustainable humanitarian technology projects. Call is already on, and we want to engage our volunteers for more in more creative and innovative way for humanitarian technology projects. And we are also promoting reaching local initiatives. We have done a wonderful job in this, because in the Region 10, we have got many countries where our main language or mother tongue is not English, and many of our members are comfortable in their local language, and we are promoting program of IEEE in their local language. Next slide, please. So this is our working plan. We have got some thoughts, but the main philosophy on which we would be working, and we are working, is that let our programs create value to address member recruitment and member retention. And we believe in that sustainability will only come when we will have value in our programs. Next slide. This is the diagram, which was, and I'm really thankful it has been shared by one of the young professionals. And we can see that the moment you join as a student member, you get leadership opportunity in IEEE. You can get in your student branch, and then you can graduate to section, to region, and to IEEE level, even at the student level. And at the same time, you gain experience, you develop a skill, and you get opportunity to work with senior leadership, and you expand your network. And when you elevate yourself to a young professional, then you get then IEEE is open for all kind of opportunity for you in all leadership role. Next slide. So these are some ongoing activities. I'm not going to take because we are already running behind schedule. So these are some ongoing activities, and you might be getting regular communication from Region 10, either in the form of e-notice or on social media. We are very active on social media, and we are announcing all our programs on social media. Recently, we have changed our newsletter. We have come out with new look, new name, and with new feature. And I would like to encourage you all that you please send your ideas, thoughts, articles in that, so that can be published, and that can be available to other members, because Kerala section, they are having a lot of good programs, and they should send their programs to Region 10 newsletter for the benefit of others. Next slide. So recently, we have our various activities. They have collaborated with each other, like industry activity, industry relations, YP, WI, student activities, and they have collaborated with each other, and they have come out with a very wonderful program that is known as 10 Talk, where we invite experts on trending topics and trending technical topics. We have already done five 10 talks, and I would like to request you all that you stay tuned with us and join our next 10 talk. Next slide, please. So this is these are basically the activities done by our educational activities. As I mentioned to you that educational activities also doing reaching local program, and we have also come out with our special YouTube channel for our programs. So then again, I request that you come out with your proposal, interact with our various activities, including education activities, and see that what best we can do in a collaborative way. Next slide, please. So with this, I would like to thank you all for giving me opportunity, and I'm really happy to see that Education Society's chapter is being inaugurated today. And I wish you all the best, and to Kerala section as well as to this Education Society chapter. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your inspirational words, sir, and the knowledgeable presentation. It was delightful to know that Region 10 is the largest, fast-growing, diverse region of IEEE. We are very grateful to have you here. Please receive the virtual memento as a sign of our gratitude.
Thank you very much, madam. Thank you, Kerala section. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Not, we have a special personality with us today. Dr. KPP Pillai is the senior member of IEEE Kerala section. He has always been a quiet, gentle, brilliant man of life and science who has been championing engineering education excellence throughout his career. A person of his stature is a constant source of inspiration for all of us. I welcome Mr. A.G. Harindralal, Advisor, IEEE Education Society Kerala Chapter, for honoring our Dr. KPP Pillai.
Good evening to you all, particularly Professor K.P. Parameshwaran Pillai. The Sanskrit word guru is formed by two dhadus, two roots, gu and ru. Gu stands for darkness and ru for removal. Guru is the person who removes darkness. Saint poet Kabir posed a question: if Guru and God both appear before me, to whom should I prostrate? He replied, I bow before Guru, who introduced God to me. I bow before Professor K.P. Parameshwaran Pillai, my Guru. He introduced God to me through his classes. He threw light on the new vistas of electrical engineering, removing darkness. He's a true Guru in the true sense of the word. It's an experience to listen to his classes. I consider him my most favorite teacher and mentor. Dr. KPP passed in all his exams. He appeared in first rank. In 1953, at the age of 17, he appeared for intermediate and Vidwan exam in Oriental languages simultaneously. He got first rank for both. He took his BSc Engineering in 1957 and MS Engineering 1990, both in first rank from College of Engineering, Trivandrum. He obtained his PhD from IIT Kharagpur within a record time of 2 years at the age of 28 years. Consistent and superlative academic record from the age of 17 until he secured his PhD, that too from IIT Kharagpur. Dr. K.P. Parameswaran started his career as a lecturer and rose to the position of professor in 1971 at a very young age of 35. He was acknowledged as one of the topmost academicians and exemplary researcher too. He is known as an institutional builder too. And from 1976 to 82, Dr. KPP, as a professor of placement and training, introduced several innovative courses. The budget of the department rose from rupees 1 lakh in 1976 to rupees 12 lakhs in 1982. In 1982, he took over Lal Bahadur Shastri Engineering Research Center, which had a grant of rupees 50,000 from the government and showed no signs of sustainability. By the time Dr. KPP left in 1988, the center had a budget of rupees 90 lakhs. Dr. KP was also instrumental in establishing a new building in its own land for LBS. Dr. KP was one of the first engineering teachers who seriously delved into industrial consultancy. Dr. KPP, as principal of newly started Government Engineering College at Kannur, completed the long-delayed building construction in less than a year and received special praise from the Government of Kerala. He was the founder director of School of Technology and Applied Sciences, MG University, and in that capacity, he established the first university engineering college in Kerala at Tirupura. He was the executive secretary and director of Indian Society of Technical Education, New Delhi, during 1996 to 98. He worked in an international steering committee at Quebec City, evolved World Council for Colleges and Polytechnics. He not only excelled in academics and research, he outshone in the artistic fields too, simultaneously. Drama became the second nature of Dr. KPP. He's an acclaimed playwright. He also directed and acted numerous amateur dramas. He's also a known author in Hindi literature and he has written poetry and novels in Hindi too. He's an exponent of yoga too. A unique personality, a multi-talented one, a man with a golden touch. He turned gold in all the fields he touched. IEEE have a greater role to play, at least even now, to elevate him as a fellow. We have many IEEE stalwarts here. I present this before them. It is an honor for us to get an opportunity to honor him. I bow before you, my most favorite teacher, my Guru. Sir, please accept a virtual memento presented on behalf of IEEE Education Society Kerala chapter as a token of our appreciation to your outstanding services in the various fields you have been to and for being the senior-most IEEE member of Kerala section. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Let us hear from the line. I invite Dr. K.P. Pillai to share a few words with an acceptance speech.
Well, I suppose I'm audible.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Distinguished members of IEEE and friends, especially Mr. Herindralal. At the outset, let me thank you for this kind gesture, for kindly remembering me at this point of time. It's a privilege which age alone has bestowed on me. I remember the day, way back in 1965, when I joined AIEE as an associate member. It was a rare privilege in those days to get an associate membership of AIEE. Then came IEEE, and I became member, senior member, life member by 2001. By that time, I had quite a lot of research papers also in both transactions of the IEEE and proceedings IE London. Well, the respect with which IEEE was held in the world became amply clear to me when a new term was coined in 2003 in power system stability, the term power system reliability. in 2003. This was coined in a joint meeting of IEEE and CGRE in Paris and was accepted all over the world because it was a necessity of the times. So such was the leadership and creativity that IEEE has shown over the years. I had almost put down my pen and was entering into a sleeping mode when all on a sudden I was inducted into a committee of experts, a 4-man committee of experts, to look into a major failure of a drive type transformer, distribution transformer, a 3750 kVA distribution transformer working in an ambient temperature of 50 degrees Celsius in the Middle East. After 3 Zoom meetings, the committee is now coming to some embarrassing conclusions. Conclusions which can be embarrassing to the designer, to the manufacturer, to the supplier. Once again, our professional ethics is being tested. Should we disclose this or should we conceal it? Once again, I had to look up IEEE Code of Ethics. Number 1, it's here with me. It says, disclose promptly factors that might endanger the public or the environment. I shall read it once again. Disclose promptly factors that might endanger the public or the environment. That was a clear deadline, a clear guideline. I feel grateful to IEEE for such professional guidance. And we are now submitting our report. This committee is submitting the report, irrespective of whether it may embarrass the designer or the manufacturer. So it has been a great experience to be here and to listen to Mr. Herindralal. Once again, I thank you all for all the goodwill and affection. Thank you very much.
Thank you again, sir, for and being with us today. We have a distinguished talk on academic industry, the Vice Chancellor of APJ Abdul Kalam Technological University, Dr. Rajeshri MS. Dr. Vaneri Ammasi, Treasurer, IEEE Education Society Kerala Chapter, to give an introduction about Dr. Rajeshri MS and invite her for the talk.
Greetings to all. With immense pleasure, I am introducing Professor Dr. Rajeshri MS, Vice Chancellor at APJ Abdul Kalam Technological University. She is one of the shining examples of women empowerment in Kerala, leading and administering a huge academic system producing technical experts in the state of Kerala. Dr. Rajeshri holds BTech from NIT Calicut, MTech, and PhD in Computer Science and Engineering from IIT Madras. Am I audible?
Yes.
Yes, audible, madam. Audible. Yes.
Research interests include distributed and object-oriented software engineering, cloud computing, and pattern recognition. An engineering academician, active academician, and a keen researcher, he has been leading institutes like Government Engineering College, Button Hill, IIITM Kerala, and LBS Institute of Technology for Women, Kerala. Dr. Rajeshri was instrumental in associating with state and national level academic bodies and contributing as executive committee member for many administrative bodies of Government of Kerala. Her advisory roles in many government organizations and association with industry are appreciable. Today, we have the most apt person, Dr. Rajeshri, to talk on academy industry linking. I'm inviting you, madam. Thank you.
Thank you.
Am I audible?
Yes.
Yes, Professor, you are audible.
Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, depending on wherever you are. Distinguished members of IEEE, the President of IEEE Education Society, Dr. Edmundo Tovar, Professor KPP Pillai, and all other distinguished dignitaries. It is a great privilege for me to be part of this occasion when we are inaugurating a society which is of great value to the state, which is the IEEE Educational Society of IEEE Kerala Section. Can you please share the presentation? Or should, so the before I get into the presentation, I will touch upon a few points which this is intending. So we are all talking about academia industry linkages, and it was like some wonders will happen in this subject, where academia and industry will link one day, and the scheme of things that we are looking for out of this linkage will happen. We have been waiting for long. For a person like me who has been from the academia with over 30 years of experience, I have seen many phases of it where we sit together and deliberate on these kind of linkages, but it is not very it's not very promising, the efforts that we make and how this will fulfill. So it is because the whole system should have a mechanism to make academia industry linkage happen, and that is where such societies can be of great value to a university like ours. Please go to the next slide. Coming to the Technological University of Kerala, it's one of the youngest universities with around 147 affiliated colleges, 32 UG programs, and 108 PG programs, 1.5 lakh plus students, 691 research scholars, 40 research centers, which is distributed across the state, 17,000 faculty members, 576 research guides, 150 staff members in the university, and 3 colleges are autonomous. The academic system of the university is basically on, the focus is on outcome-based learning. Why I'm putting this slide is to express the capability as a university which is distributed across the state, the capability of the university in bringing industry institute linkages. So when we talk about this, it is about the systems that we set in, the frameworks that we build in institutions, and the academic system enablement we give for fostering these kind of linkages, how well we are able to attract faculty to this, how well we are able to connect industry to the campuses, and how well we can incentivize the students who are becoming part of this. All these play a role when we think of such systems. So these are some humble steps that beginnings that we are making at Kerala Technological University to bring in such linkages. Please go to the next slide. As part of Industry Connect initiatives, we have set up a small cell in the university, which is the Industry Attachment Cell, and this cell is responsible for bringing in industry projects and internships for experiential learning. It is in terms of enhancing the employability of the students. We believe in giving equal opportunity to all the colleges in placement, so we conduct combined placement drives, because only a few colleges are few privileged colleges get all companies come and take their students, but the students are distributed across in 146 colleges. Then bringing consultancy assignments for faculty.
then campus connect initiatives with industry, faculty enablement initiatives with industry, entrepreneurship promotion, and how this can be part of the system where we have few initial thoughts on how to implement industry minor programs. So minor program is an add-on program that we give. It is like a specific vertical which will be a package of 5 courses which is beyond the basic requirements for a degree, undergraduate degree, and this can be in any specialized vertical. Now we have introduced the framework for this, and there is a possibility for us to bring in completely different kinds of courses through the minor programs, where the university, the faculty members can sit with industry and design courses which are of relevance to them, and also not only the contents but the pedagogy as well as the evaluation scheme can be tuned with the industry for creating specific competencies to students. So we had, please next slide please. So we had discussions with lot of industry for these kind of courses, and we have to have some of the statutory requirements fulfilled for this to be implemented. That is what we are working on at present with respect to the industry minor. So this is next slide please. So these are some of the organizations with whom we have already had discussions to design such minor programs, and it is the design of those programs is going on. The main point here is that although we follow outcome-based education, which sets specific outcomes for each of the courses we offer, and each of the subjects and the graduate attributes are clearly defined, the academic system that is presently existing, the whole things like the evaluation, teaching, learning process, and pedagogy, everything doesn't gel together. Everything doesn't gel together to get the perceived objectives achieved. So that is the whole system should change in order to achieve this, and that is the experiment we are trying with this program. In a large system with so many programs and the programs distributed across this wide range of colleges, it is not easy for us to change the whole system and then suggest mechanisms where such closer level interactions with industry can happen. So this is going to be a small segment of that, where the new teaching learning process and evaluation schemes will be experimented to see how the skilling of students can happen in a different way by bringing them close to the industry and making the practice sessions with industry, and then having the evaluation schemes which are suitable for the project modes, etc. Go to the next slide, please. So these are some projects which we have engaged in with this objective. The main segments which we are looking for is industry and businesses, government organization, and also government organizations which can come up with projects. And we are putting everything together as a repository, and then enabling the faculty members to join with these projects, specific projects, and then take up these projects and work on. And the mentors from industry or the government organizations concerned will also be taking part in this engagement, and this will facilitate the experiential learning avenues that can be given to students. We have experimented it with a few departments and few industries so far. Please go to the next slide. Next slide. Next one, please. And this, we call it as a single window project facilitation, where the role of university will be a facilitator, and the competencies of colleges for projects and the capabilities to solve business challenges of government departments, institutions, and industry will be will be used for this. So the affiliated colleges will be given equal opportunity to take part in this. And then the faculty members will also be engaged in this. And there will be a single point of contact, a faculty member, and we will be working on a trainer model. The industry problems will be defined and the problems will be fine-tuned by the interaction between these groups, and that is how it is being addressed. So the next slide, please. So this is how the scheme is going to work. We have experimented this with a few government departments where the institutions will call for expression of interest with project details, and then this will be session will be given to the colleges. The projects will be introduced by the organizations through the university to the faculty members and the colleges who are interested. And then the expression of interest will be collected, and then this will be evaluated. Again, it will be conveyed to colleges. In some of the colleges, this is already happening through the consultancy cell of the university, but we would like to see that the problems are chosen and given to all colleges, and this becomes a culture and it becomes a part of the academic and research activities in the college. Of late, the government of Kerala has also introduced a scheme of earn while you learn scheme, where we can think of the presence of small units of industry in the campus itself, where the students can work on some of the problems that the industry gives, and then they will be able to move forward. If required, this can be taken as the final project, etc. So essentially, what the university is looking for is a facilitating mechanism and a consolidated interface for the industry, government, and colleges to work together through a digitally enabled platform. This is our ultimate goal. Please come to the next slide. So these are some of the projects that we have facilitated. Next slide, please. Next slide. So other initiatives that the industry attachment cell at KTU is looking at is to have faculty mentor circles. Like we would look for the faculty groups who have competencies in specific areas and who can work along with the industry units and the departments to formulate the problems. See, the industry or the government departments will be coming up with some problems, but they won't even know how to state the problem clearly. In a way, it can be packaged and given to the faculty, experts, and students. So towards that also, we are making some efforts. And we, at one side, from the colleges, we see that a lot of projects are being carried out, and very innovative projects. Students get 3 to 6 months of time, and they will just start it and then do a prototype or something and leave it there. But there will be, at the other end, there will be the departments or the industry which is looking for solving these kind of problems, how we can link these together by putting this as even the preliminary work that has been carried out by the students, giving this to the industry to see if some work can be done along this, and can it become a mature product or a solution to the problems they are looking at. This is also something that we are looking forward to, and fortunately we have a very strong digital platform which captures the details of all the students and all the projects, project reports, then and also the PhD thesis, that because everything is happening online, it is very easy for us to make a database of the new knowledge that is created and index it appropriately and present it to to a form where it can be directly applied. So this is these are all some of the things that we are looking at, and that will be a beginning for us to foster the relationship between the community who is looking for the knowledge that is being created by the faculty members and students from the organizations, and link it to proper applications where the industry as well as the government is looking for problems which need innovations and new knowledge that is being created. Next slide, please. Then coming to the way we look at education, it is mainly we look at the traditional way of classroom teaching, and then at the end of the semester we have an evaluation, then we give marks, then grades, and everything ends there. But it is not fully the way we use for evaluations. It is not fully measuring the capability of the students. So we need to have a system where we can have we can have professionals with all kinds of competency, professional competency or engineering competency built in the years they are spending in the campuses. So how can we look at that? That is something which we are proposing now, and this essentially means that it is not only the academic capability that is being reckoned, but it is also the other skills of the students, be it technical skills or their entrepreneurship initiatives and various kinds of skills which can be measured otherwise through the activities they engage in, and then have some sort of incentivizing them to be part of that. So we are thinking of a common platform for utilizing the immense power, energy, and potential of students through cutting-edge initiatives of problem solving, knowledge empowerment, socially relevant and industry relevant engagement on a continuous basis. So the idea is, if a student who is joining the first year is able to look at a problem that a leading industry is looking at, and that is the he is able to have a visualization of the problems or the challenges that practitioners will be dealing with in their daily work, then how can it will be easy for them to be to have a visibility of their career path, and see how they should prepare themselves for delivering such a delivering to such a profession when they complete the course. And that this is what we see as experiential learning, and this will surely give them an interdisciplinary learning opportunity through real-time projects. It is not only that the projects are listed, we also connect these students to mentors from industry to see that they are able to do that. And Kerala Technological University is one of the unique feature is the design engineering course. We would like to see the next level of this course as a design thinking course, where the student is able to get the real feel of the problem, and the learning also happens through this problem solving. So it is the inculcation of interdisciplinary learning through real-time project. So it is a shift from academic marks alone based system to an engineering competency based system, which will also enable us to bring industry and students closer. So the expected outcome would be industry ready, high quality, confident graduates. And it's not only that they get skilled, but they also see what are the opportunities for furthering a domain, furthering research in that, promoting innovation in that, and they will have all those skills which are required of 21st century engineers, like multi-domain collaboration, team management, leadership, and all such skills with a clear vision for the future. So this will also equip them to the most needed attribute of the times, that is life. They should be lifelong learners, and the spirit of innovation, and which can lead to IP creation can be those kind of vision can be imparted to the students through these kind of activities. So we have some way of recognizing this also, where we intend to keep a profile of each students, like a LinkedIn kind of thing, where with the competencies that they bring or the activities they engage in, give some sort of badges or competency score, which can form a base for direct hiring by companies, and all such things are being planned as part of expanding the industry attachment cell initiatives of KTU. Next slide, please. So next slide. I think that's from my side. These are some of the initiatives, and now we should see how these small initiatives that we are taking at the university can be linked with the strategic goals of IEEE Education Society to make industry institute interaction much meaningful and beneficial to the community. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am, for taking time out of your busy schedule and for being with us here today, and to share all the wonderful opportunities that are available to bring industry and academia closer. We would like to present this virtual memento as a representation of our gratitude towards you. Next, we have another distinguished talk on industry expectations by Dr. V.K. Matthews, founder and executive chairman of IBS Software. I invite Dr. Ravindranathan, Research Activities Chair, IEEE Education Society Kerala Chapter, to introduce and invite Dr. V.K. Matthews to take up the platform.
Yeah, Dr. Ravindranathan, we are not hearing from you. So I request Dr. Keshavasamy sir to introduce Dr. V.K. Matthews. Keshavasamy sir, please.
Hello. I don't think Keshavasamy can hear.
Yes.
Yes. I can get started. What do you think?
Should I introduce? Maybe he's having some connectivity problem.
Yeah, sir. Yeah. Yes. Dr. Keshavasamy sir, please introduce Dr. V.K. Matthews sir.
Hello.
Yes, Keshavasamy, please go ahead. Otherwise, I'll get started.
Yeah. We can hear you very well. Please. Okay, sorry.
I am glad to introduce Dr. V.K. Matthews. It is an honor that I have been professionally associated with him for over 2 decades as a co-tenant in Technopark and also as a member of GTech, a group of technology company in Kerala to promote IT technology in Kerala. We have been together on the board of ICT Academy of Kerala for over 7 years. It has been a privilege to be working with him. Dr. V.K. Matthews is the founder and executive chairman of the IBS Group, founded in 1997. With over 17 years of earlier experience in Emirates, he redefined the way the global travel, transportation, logistic industries manage their business. He currently chairs several institutions, including Trivandrum Agenda Task Force and Trivandrum City Connect Foundation. He is a member of Kerala Chief Minister's High Power Digital Advisory Committee and on the board of directors of ICT Academy of Kerala. He has received several awards from the government, media, trade associations, including Visionary of Times Award 2019. Dr. Matthews holds a master's degree in aeronautics engineering from Indian Institute of Technology, Kanpur, executive management education from Harvard Business School, and also a honorary doctorate from Hindustan Institute of Technology and Science for his achievements and contribution to the aviation industry. It has been a privilege to know him. Welcome, Dr. V.K. Matthew. We are eager to listen to you. Welcome.
Thank you, Keshav. Good afternoon again. Once again, good morning for those who are signing in from Europe. Good afternoon, good evening. Office bearers of IEEE Global and Kerala's chapter leaders, especially Mr. Tower, President IEEE Education Society, Mr. Matthew, Director IEEE Region 10, Professor Mohammed Kasim, Mrs. Sharda Jayakrishnan, Mr. Varghese, who invited me, and my friend Keshav Swami, and most importantly, Mr. KPP Pillai, who was honored today for his exceptional contribution to IEEE and the society at large. I must also take the name of Mr. Harindra Lal for so beautifully and respectfully introducing Dr. KPP Pillai. I was quite impressed. And also my fellow speakers, Rajashri, distinguished members in the audience. It's a pleasure and privilege for me to participate in the inaugural ceremony of IEEE Education Society, Kerala chapter. At the outset, let me wish Kerala chapter all the very best for fulfilling its vision. I was reading in your brochure your vision to develop confident and responsible individuals to address future challenges by delivering dynamic and effective learning systems. So I wish you all the very best because you inaugurated it today. And my topic, the topic that you have given to me, is to talk about the industry expectations from education or from the academia, or in other words, the changing talent needs of the industry that I represent. Before delving into it, let me try to set the context. Before we are today living in a new normal. Before COVID-19, we used to talk about a lot of things. We used to talk about a world of disruptive innovations, a world of new jobs, living in digital economy, but COVID-19 has added a new disruptive dimension, the physical proximity dimension, forcing the world towards a new normal, again enabled by digital technologies. Ladies and gentlemen, we can see, if I see from where I stand, we can see great acceleration of trends. When we talk about living in a digital economy, I just want to spend, say, maybe a couple of minutes to give my perspective and view of that. I'm sure all of you know, but just to get the context again right. The size of the digital economy, according to the United Nations study, every year they have a digital economy report of 2019. I don't think they produced one in 2020. According to that, the size of that economy in 2019 was about 14.5% of the global economy, or about $12.5 trillion, which I'm sure in 2021 must be about 18%, which is sizable. The sector that I represent, travel, which dates back to the beginning of humanity, is only 10% of the global GDP. Otherwise, 1 out of every $6 or probably even $5 spent in the world or coming in the world is from the digital economy. If I characterize it, this is driven by our ability to collect, process a massive amount of digital data. And also in the digital economy, you can see this is evolving at breakneck speed. Some of you would know, and some of them, I'm sure Rashri also would know. About 25 years back, the internet traffic used to be just 1 megabyte per second, but that is about 200 terabytes today. That's a growth of crore factors. And also in the digital economy creates massive amount of wealth, huge amount of wealth in rapid times. And unfortunately, that gets accumulated in the hands of few countries, companies, and more so individuals, which again gives problem for the leaders, national leaders, as well as regulators, how to deal with that. And also it gives rise to a powerful digital value chain, data value chain, because of firms working to collect, process, and produce digital intelligence, which they can commercialize, which they can monetize for commercial use. So this is the context of the digital economy in which we were living, not new. We were living. And in that, you also know that platformization is a big lever and big driver. And if you take 7 of the top 8 global companies in the world, 7 of them use platform-based digital business models. And again, just one more sentence and then I will move on. And this was existing, I'm not saying anything new, this was existing in 2019. We talk about economic divide, the north-south divide. That means that the economic division or the divide between the developed northern hemisphere countries and the developing or underdeveloped southern Africa, Asian countries. But in the digital world, that is not the divide. The divide is between just 2 countries. It is the United States and China. 90% of this economy is shared by them. If you really look at 75% of all of the patents in blockchain, and similarly 50% of all of the spend in IoT, and 75% of the entire market in cloud computing, all of that is in these 2 countries. And no wonder and no reason, it's not a surprise that the trade friction between these 2 countries is a reflection of the quest for them to have dominance in these frontier technologies. So that's the world that we were living. And into that world comes COVID, and we have seen massive acceleration of trends. So that means COVID-19 has intensified existing trends, widening the gap between the companies at the top quintile and the bottom quintile of performance, or the winners and the losers. The strong. I'll tell you a study that we have done. If you look at the Fortune 500 companies or the Standard & Poor, S&P 500 companies, and you look at the top performing companies and how did they perform during the COVID period, and the bottom 20% and how did they perform. In fact, the top 20% has increased their market capitalization by about $1 trillion. And similarly, the bottom 20 has actually gone back as well. So there's a significant, we are seeing this acceleration of trends that existed before the crisis. For example, online deliveries in 8 weeks equal to the entire last decade. Similarly, 10-fold growth in telemedicine in 15 days of the onset of COVID. Similar acceleration patterns on online education, remote working, all of that we can see. And there's a saying that we do in the business. That is 5 years worth of digital transformation in just 1 year. And for us now, a quarter is the new year, and the fastest will win. And that's the context in which we are. I'm talking about the industry context, and I'm expected to talk about what is the industry expectation. And there's a little bit changes also. I'm not saying anything new, but I just want to put that in context. For example, if you look at the consumer behavior, there's a significant change in the consumer behavior. You and me may not feel, but the youngsters, if you observe, you'll feel. that the service level, the SLAs, the changing consumer expectations defines the new SLAs. For example, the next read, if you are reading, yeah, in less than 1 second. Your next movie, whether it's Netflix, Prime, or YouTube, in the next less than 10 seconds. Your next ride, less than 5 minutes. And your next meal, less than 1 hour, of course, Uber Eats or any of those. Fresh groceries, your e-commerce purchases. All of this has reduced the time within which you would set the SLAs. Massive lifestyle changes. Lifestyle changes, what are the major influences? Home in the new normal, work in the new normal, technology in life. We are living more and more side by side with technology. So lifestyle changes. If I just talk a little bit about home in the new normal, and which again has a lot to do with how businesses will work in future. COVID-19 has changed the role of home in our lives. We have work from home, study from home, we have medical cure from home, we shop from home, food delivered at home, entertainment at home, and travel experience from home with augmented and virtual reality. One of the companies in my area in travel, they have created an application which will give you the experience of having gone for a holiday, the planning of the holiday and the entire excitement. So these are all possibilities, but it does not mean that we are living a better life. We are putting up with it. In my view, technology gives us the options and we should choose what is good for us. So work from home is one aspect. The second one is work in the new normal. I don't know whether any of you have read this, Institute for the Future, IFTE. They have written like this: 85% of the jobs that will exist in the next 10 years, in 2030 and above, haven't even been invented as yet, is what they have written. And according to, from a very pragmatic point of view, I would put it this way: about 20 to 25% of the remote working will be remote working in advanced economies. Virtual meetings are going to continue, though less intensely. Digitization, we will see again 2 to 5 folds growth in e-commerce. Automation, uptick in use of robotic, faster adoption of AI, and also particularly in high proximity areas like the airports and things like that. We will also see occupation shifts. That means the jobs are going to shift. About 100 million top jobs are going to shift, and it is predicted to happen in at least about 8 countries. Mix of occupation shift with little job growth in low-wage occupations. This is another thing that we are actually seeing. We will see degrowth in office support. You can imagine customer service, food service, production, repair, and we can expect job growth in health, aids, customer service, food service, and things like that. There. Now, education impact and some perspectives from my side. COVID-19, as all of us know, has deeply disrupted the education systems in the world, affecting nearly almost all of the children, 1.6 billion learners across 190 countries, if my memory is correct. Closure of schools and the universities have also equally impacted almost 100% of the students worldwide. 94% is the statistics that they publish. This has further exacerbated the education-related disparities, as I understand. So that means especially for the most vulnerable children, youth and adults, those living in poor and rural areas. Learning losses, so this is something which I have been discussing, we have been discussing with the Chief Minister, that is learning losses to extend beyond this generation. And it can erase, unless addressed, decades of our progress. About 25 million children will drop out due to the economic impact during the aftermath of COVID-19. Some of these things are going to happen. And what are the real changes to education? They actually talked about the industry, academia link. So there's an accelerated rise in e-learning that we will be able to see. Investment in edutech is skyrocketing, expected to grow. This is something 20 folds. This is the survey research, 20 folds in the next 5 years. Today, the investments in edutech, including Byju's, as you can imagine, is about 18.8 billion is the latest number, and is expected to grow to 350 billion by 2025, which is close to 20-fold growth. As a result, education will change dramatically with the distinctive rise of e-learning, whereby teaching, is undertaken remotely and on digital platforms. Examples: I don't have to quote Byju's subscription has gone up by 200% during the COVID times. We can also see the e-learning growth. I'm talking about IIMs and the IITs have launched online classes, almost all of them taught remotely by faculty, and examination and tests are conducted virtually. We clearly see. And the bottom line there is the prospect of campus-only courses as the norm seems unlikely. And from a technology point of view, I would say personalization will be the most impactful change in education. And the COVID-19 is accelerating the drive and demand for personalization. I'll tell you what it means. Personalization in the context of education means delivering education, which includes information, data, classes, tutoring, and the examinations, all tuned to the need of what the students would want, rather than what it is. And in fact, personalization, not only for education, has become a critical success factor for all the business industry sectors, more so in our industry sector. And maybe this is very, very important for when we talk about academia, industry link and things like that. What are the real changes going to take place and should take place in the education sector? How personalization will impact the sector? When we talk about education, when we think of education, we normally think of universities, institutions, brick and mortar, but that is going to give way to education without borders. Classroom lectures are giving way to virtual delivery. Even now it's happening. And that's going to mature and accelerate to extreme effectiveness. Ladies and gentlemen, another one. Today we talk about degrees and diplomas. That should and will give way to micro-credentials. If I want to become a journalist, I want to study 6 months intensely. That's all. That's my micro-credential. I don't want a 3 years, 4 years degree studying all of this. And I can do that, but at my choice. In other words, education should shift the focus from supply side to demand focus. I think that is something which is going to take place. And it is absolutely achievable, and we will see an acceleration in that direction. In summary, the industry expectations are 2, 3. Every business is becoming a technology business, ladies and gentlemen. What it means is that if you can't take advantage of technology, those businesses will struggle. Or if you want to thrive, it has to be technology. And that what it means is that technology competence is a key competence to every citizen. Second piece, agility is going to be key. That is being able to adapt to changing situations, especially situations on which we have no control like COVID-19. How do I respond to changing market conditions? For example, there are no flights. Last year, the total number of flights, the carriage has dropped from 100% to 25%. Aviation industry and travel industry. And how do I respond to changing customer expectations? We talked about changing consumer behavior. And that's where agility comes in. And the third expectation is, gone are the days when I have studied and come out of my college and then that's good enough. No, learning is going to be lifelong. And how do we inculcate this? We have to inculcate. Ladies and gentlemen, I've taken enough time. And finally, as Charles Darwin said, and it is so apt, it is not the strongest, not the most intelligent that will survive, but it is the most adaptable. We talked about agility here. And with that, I'll stop here. I wish IEEE Educational Society Kerala chapter all the very best for fulfilling its vision. I repeat, the vision to develop confident and responsible citizens to address challenges of future by delivering dynamic, effective learning systems. Ladies and gentlemen, it was a pleasure sharing my thoughts with you. I hope it was useful. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yes.
It was very insightful to hear from you about working in the new norm. Thank you for sharing your thoughts with us. This virtual memento is a gratitude from our side for the wonderful talk. Please accept it.
Thank you. Thank you.
And we would also like to present. And we would also like to present the virtual memento to Dr. Rajashree Madam. Once again, as of gratitude. Please accept it, Madam. Next, we have the Vice President, MGA of IEEE Education Society, Professor Rosa Maria Vasconcelos, with us. I heartily invite Dr. Jason Matthew, Professional Activities Chair of IEEE Education Society Kerala Chapter, to introduce and welcome Professor Rosa Maria to share a few pearls of wisdom from her treasury of knowledge and experiences.
Good evening, all. It's a great privilege for me to introduce Professor Rosa Maria Vasconcelos. Professor Rosa is the Vice President of Membership and Geographic Activities of IEEE Education Society. She is a professor with the Department of Textile Engineering at the University of Minho, Portugal since 2005. She received her engineering degree in textile engineering and PhD degree in textile chemistry from the University of Minho in 1984 and 1993 respectively. And she was the winner of 1993 Writer International Award. She has headed several R&D projects, authored dozens of well-cited journal papers, and presently she is an associate editor of IEEE RITA journal. She is the president of the Pedagogical Council and Vice Dean of the School of Engineering at the University of Minho since 2013. Professor Rosa has supervised several scientific studies on education, employability and organization of engineering education in Portugal. As a recognition of her contributions to engineering education, she has been elected to the Board of Governors of the IEEE EDSOC for a consecutive third three-year term in 2020 and is responsible for the membership and geographic activities of the society. So let us welcome Professor Rosa, a very passionate educational activist, for the felicitation. Professor Rosa, please.
Thank you, Dr. Matthew, for your kind introduction. I want to give my presents to Dr. Edmund Tovar, the President of IEEE Education Society, Mr. Deepak Mathur, the Director of IEEE Region 10, Mr. Saravat Zarakis, Chair of IEEE Kerala Sections, with Mr. Vares, Chair of IEEE Education Society Kerala Chapter, Dr. Kazavazi, Advisor of IEEE Education Society, Professor Mohamed Kazin, the Founder Chair of Education Society Chapter. Dear invited speakers, dear guests, ladies and gentlemen, it's with great pleasure that I join this opening ceremony of IEEE Education Society Chapter of the Kerala Section. Together with the 64 chapters in different countries, today we'll have a new one that joins the 6 existing ones in India: the Bengali, the Delhi, the Ibarat, the Madras, the Pune, the Visage. IEEE defines a chapter as a technical subunit of one or more IEEE sections. The society chapters are our local links to valuable resources available for IEEE and its 39 technical societies. It includes the activities, guest speakers, workshops, seminars, as well as social functions. They provide to the society members with valuable opportunities to network at local level, enable both personal and professional growth. And this with COVID, I think we can have the opportunities to have the network in a global world. And as today we are sharing with a lot of people in different time of the planet. Well, chapters develop leaders who are necessary to maintain the vitality needed in the voluntary organizations. These leaders are the people who provide direction and guidance for education society, for the IEEE section and for IEEE itself. In many instances, chapter leaders represent their peers to campus, state and federal government bodies. A chapter should facilitate, support, or enhance collegial relationships among its members and the wider community. Still again, a chapter may be seeks to formalize existing educational activities and communities outreach in science, engineering, and technology-related fields. Many chapters do exist for one or all of these reasons. However, chapters also exist for another reason that are equal as important as that was mentioned again. Well, I would like to congratulate once again Mr. Varagus, chairs of IEEE Education Society chapter, Kerala section for this event, and wish all the best and success for the future. And you can count on me, whatever you need or I can help. Thank you once again for this invitation.
Thank you, ma'am. That was a truly fantastic speech. Please accept our gratitude in the form of this virtual memento.
Thank you.
Now, I respectfully invite Dr. Rajesh Abraham, Conference Activities Chair, IEEE Education Society Kerala Chapter, to introduce and invite Dr. K. Suresh, Chairperson, IEEE India Council, to share his views.
Yeah, I'm audible.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Yeah, so let us go ahead. Respected dignitaries across the globe, my fellow IEEE colleagues and friends, very good evening to all. Thank you for having me in this inaugural ceremony of IEEE Education Society Kerala chapter. I congratulate Kerala chapter for this endeavor and wish all the very best. Special appreciation to Professor Muhammad Qasim, who initiated and worked towards the formation of this chapter. And also congratulations to Mr. C.M. Varghese for being the chair. This moment is more cherishable while IEEE section is now at the top rank among membership across the globe. In India Council, we have almost 50,000 members and 80% are student members. Also among the professional members, 75% must be from academia. So we need to retain the memberships by way of providing more and more member benefits with special emphasis to students and academy. Thus, IEEE Education Society plays an important role in providing benefits to the academic community. Even though there exists excellent coordination between academia and industry in other developed countries, in India, these are still working in, I think, silos. Excuse me on that. Very few academicians participating in live industrial projects. Same case with the industry guys also. They do not show interest in academic and research activities. Finally, we from industry blame the quality of students being recruited. So Kerala Technological University has been trying under Ma'am Rajshree, trying its best to bridge this gap. Education is the process of not only facilitating learning or the acquisition of knowledge, but also skills, values, morals, beliefs, and habits. The education society can surely play a major role in guiding the students in a holistic way. Education Society Kerala chapter shall contribute towards improving the quality of education and also facilitate distinguished lecture programs, MOOC programs, etc. Thank you once again for having me in this function. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, and we request you to accept the memento as a form of our gratitude.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you.
Nayak, whom we just heard, is an alumnus of the Department of Electrical Engineering from IIT Bombay, and he has spent his initial career at R&D lab of the Ministry of Information and Technology, Government of India. Dr. Suresh Nair is presently the Chief Technology Advisor to the Foundation for Innovation and Social Entrepreneurship. Thank you, Social Entrepreneurship at the initiative of the Tata Trust. Thank you so much, sir, again, for coming and being here with us and accepting our humble token of appreciation. Thank you again, sir.
Now, we are grateful to have the presence of Dr. Samir SM, Secretary of IEEE Region 10, with us here. I invite Mr. Eldo Babu, Electronic Communication Coordinator of IEEE Education Society Kerala Chapter, to introduce and invite Dr. Samir SM to take up the platform.
Thank you, Parvati. So I am Eldo Babu. I am currently Electronic and Communications Coordinator of IEEE Education Society Kerala Chapter. And it's my privilege to introduce Dr. Samir SM, sir. Samir sir works at NIT Calicut. He took BTech from TKM College Kollam and MTech and PhD from IIT Kharagpur. He marked his IEEE journey as a founding secretary of IEEE Malabar subsection. From there, he played various key roles in the growth of IEEE Kerala section. He also served as the chairman of IEEE Kerala section from the year 2018-2019. He was also awarded the Region 10 Outstanding Volunteer in the year 2020. Currently, he is also serving as the Secretary of Region 10 Asia Pacific region. So I would like to invite you to facilitate this occasion.
Thank you very much, Eldo. Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Yeah, thank you. Good evening and to all the dignitaries, and good morning to our friends from US and Europe. I know that I am standing between your dinner, especially people from India, your dinner and the closure of this program. It's a great privilege to be part of this program, and we are already running behind the schedule, so I'll try to finish in a few minutes. Yeah, so educational activities is a very strong area of IEEE Kerala section ever since its inception, and we had very phenomenal volunteers in educational activities, starting from Professor B.K. Damodaran and various other leaders. And we have had many pioneering projects of IEEE Educational Activities Board happened for the first time in Kerala section, programs such as EPICS and the Teacher in Service programs and all. And this is a very special occasion that a section which has got a great legacy of several such initiatives are starting the formation of a new society in Kerala section. But this is one of the oldest societies of IEEE, and better late than never, we are going to start. And I have just a couple of suggestions, basically 3 suggestions to the new team of office bearers of Educational Society, which is a real blend of people from industries such as Sri Varghese, Jitin, etc., and people from academia. So one is, my first suggestion is to arrange internship programs for the students in engineering studies, basically. I know that it is extremely difficult for about 40 to 50,000 students who are studying in engineering colleges to provide internships in industry. But at least for the third year and final year students, if we are able to issue a call for volunteers from industry and assign mentors for doing some internships on their own, at their own premises, without moving to the industry, but getting inputs on what is relevant to the industry and do some work, basically, would be a great meaningful exercise for improving the employability of our engineering graduates. So some kind of novel innovations for providing more internship opportunities. Second is the skill development or the all-round skill development. Earlier we have heard Matthew speaking about it, and K2VC also speaking about, Rajshri Ma'am also was speaking about this, this necessity. And IEEE can do a lot, but education society specifically can do a lot of things like improving the communication skills. Communication means communicating with human being and communicating with machines, which is going to be a great relevant skill set in the coming times. And also other skill sets such as your coding skills, your psychometry and other kind of skill sets. The third action point is like increasing awareness for educational opportunities abroad and other higher studies opportunities within India, in the be it management, be it other say IITs and other institutions or institutions abroad. These days, a lot of students are interested to go outside and learn new courses. So if education society can give orientation programs for these opportunities and the methodologies that these students need to adopt, that would be great. So with this, I conclude my felicitation. I wish the new chapter all the very best and exciting time for all the volunteers. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We'll definitely take the points that you shared with us forward. And please accept our sincere thank you with this virtual memento.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, Gayatri.
Isha Paul, Vice Chairperson of IEEE Education Society Kerala Chapter, for a talk of women in education.
Am I audible, guys?
Yes, ma'am.
Distinguished members of IEEE, good evening to one and all presented here. So, if you educate a man, you educate an individual, but if you educate a woman, you educate a nation, by Dr. James Agre. Women are the backbone of society. Women education in India plays a very important role in overall development of the country. In order to make democracy successful in the country, women education is necessary together with men. Educated women are the real source of happiness in the family. Education is one of the milestones for women empowerment because it enables them to respond to the challenges, to confront their traditional role and change their lifestyle. The Indian education system has two important structures. One is formal and another one is non-formal education. Some other educational programs also formulated to motivate the women education, such as online education and distance education. The main objective of the entire educational program is to make every girl child to educate. This low-level literacy not only shows a negative impact on women's lives, but also on their families and country's economic development. Hence, it is of foremost importance to raise the level of education amongst women. Fundamental rights of women are equality, freedom to religion, educational rights, cultural and educational against exploitation, freedom. Improving girls' education level has been demonstrated to have a clear impact on the health and economic future of young women, which in turn improves the prospects of their entire community. According to the International Encyclopedia of Women, various authors highlight the role of education for the empowerment of women. since the employment plays a vital role in improving women's status in a society. Education of women is the prime importance in any women empowerment program. Educating an Indian woman creates a vital opportunity for the social development of India. An educated woman will yield a positive impact in the Indian society by contributing positively to the economy of both country and society. And just we can see the steps to improve the women education. It is obvious that above objectives can only be achieved by first and the foremost ensuring that women acquire quality education. When this is done, the knowledge, skills, attitude, and other potential that are acquired by women for full participation in the national development will be developed. Following are the objectives to improve women education. 1. Enable women to improve their family health and diet. 2. Increase women's productive ability, thus raising their family's standard of living. 3. Give women access to appropriate technologies and management of cooperatives. 4. Improve women's societal and cultural status. 5. Enable women to discharge their responsibilities more effectively and help women to fight their own fears and feelings of inadequacy. Educate women in all-round development, that is mentally, socially, physically, psychologically, religiously, and economically, etc. It is crucial to note that the attitude of people towards women education will go a long way in explaining the extent to which the people want their nation to develop. Like the saying goes that to educate a woman is to educate a society as a whole. Education is considered as a key instrument for the women empowerment. And I hope we can organize many relevant programs based on education field in the coming future. Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Lisha ma'am. Now I welcome Mr. Sharad S., Chairperson of Student Activity Education Society Kerala Chapter, to talk about the student branch chapter initiatives.
Thank you, Parvati. Hope I am audible.
Yes, you are audible.
So good evening, good morning, good afternoon to the foreign places. So the future activities of Education Society Kerala Chapter. Eldo, could you please share the screen?
Yeah, it's been said.
Okay. Okay, thank you. So the first one, the MD session of all students across the section to increase the IEEE count of IEEE members and Education Society members. The second one is a student transition and elevation program for all final and pre-final year students to make aware the benefits of IEEE membership after the elevation. Third, a call for student ambassadors across all colleges to increase the reach of Education Society and to collaborate events with chapter. Fourth one, a digital library platform which contains various videos, documents associated with the recent technologies. Fifth one, the various output-based inter-SB events to increase student skills and training them. Sixth one, to support the government student branches, providing them guidance and resources for their programs. Seventh one, internship opportunities to increase their hands-on experience with their contact with industrial professionals. Eighth one, training programs in areas like CAD, MATLAB, and thereby increasing the opportunity of students from civil and mechanical streams to join IEEE and Education Society. So these are the future events planned under the Education Society Kerala chapter. And as Kasim sir said, I am also happy to share that already 2 student branch have filed a petition for Education Society waiting for the approval, and 6 more student branch chapter will be filing the petition in the upcoming days. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sharad. Now, I think it would be delightful if we all got a virtual photo together again. I request all of you to turn on your cameras for the picture one more time.
Yeah, everyone please turn on their cameras. Thank you. Yeah, the photo has been taken. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Moving on, we would like to present Mrs. Sharada Jayakrishnan, Chairperson, IEEE Kerala Section, with this virtual memento as a gratitude for being a constant support throughout the growth of IEEE Education Society Kerala Chapter.
Thank you.
I would like to invite Mr. Jitin Krishnan, Secretary, IEEE Education Society Kerala Chapter, to give a vote of thanks and conclude this ceremony.
Thank you, Gayatri ma'am. Hope I'm audible.
Yes. Yes, you are.
Yeah, good evening to all. It's been a lengthy evening. First of all, thanks for patience and well wishes. I deemed it a great honor and privilege to propose a vote of thanks for this auspicious occasion. And first and foremost, I thank our chief guest, Dr. Edmund Tova, President IEEE EDSOC, who, despite his very busy schedule, has found time to grace this occasion. Thank you, sir. Also, I would like to express our heartfelt thanks to Mr. Divak Madhav, Region 10 Director, who always is a backbone to IEEE activities in Region 10 and in India, for his valuable time and highly enthusiastic address. Thank you, sir. And no special thanks will be enough for our Sharda Madam, so who presented over the meeting. Please continue to encourage, ma'am. Thank you for the meeting. And we are grateful to Dr. B.K. Matthews, founder and executive chairman of IBS Softwares, and our own Dr. Rajashree Madam, VC KTU, for their distinguished lectures and high words of encouragement. So your able guidance will always encourage us. Thank you once again. And my heartfelt thanks to Dr. K.P. Pillai, sir, so the veteran educationalist from IEEE Kerala, for accepting our invitation and coming over for the honoring ceremony. Thank you, sir. And a special mention and thanks to Professor Rosa Maria, VP MG at EDSOC, for her unstinted support. Thank you, ma'am. So I thank your well-wishers, Dr. Suresh Nair, sir, and Dr. Samir, sir, the stalwarts from IEEE Kerala, for their very great encouragement in all our efforts. And I have a special mention and gratitude to our founder chair, Dr. Professor Qasim, sir, for his vision and commitment to realize the society. And our Varghese sir, who is always a backbone, and all distinguished invitees who was present over here, accepting your invitation. And I thank all my fellow colleagues, especially Eldo, Shyam, Sharat, Akash, Sajin, and all other who has been here with all their good hearts and who work with the team. And thank you once again for all. So have a great night and tight sleep. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all once again from our side. Yeah, thank you for joining and be.
Thank you all. Yeah, bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, it was all today's advent. Thanks.